Hey there. This message goes out to anyone between the ages of 25 and approximately 35, 40 years old who is looking to move from whatever industry you're in into the digital economy, full time, entrepreneur, basically doing whatever you want to do and calling your own shots. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be super wealthy and be flying around in Lear jets, but I want to tell you what it takes in order to move from going to a job that you probably didn't pick in the first place. You probably, just fell into it because it was the best paying job at the time, over into something that you choose to do, something that challenges you, and something that is also sort of on the cutting edge of the the new era, so to speak. So the first thing that I want to mention is in order for you to change your life, you need to change your value system. So quite simply, it's what is it that matters the most to you in your life. And the reason this is so important is I hear from a lot of people, it's I want the time and I want the money and I want the freedom and I want to do all this amazing stuff, but there's no value put on communication or the actual learning of the skill or grinding yourself into the person that you really want to become, because the simple fact is you would already be at your goals if you already knew what to do. So in order for you to move from where you are to where you want to be, you need to learn a different skill set, right? You need to learn how to do things on a higher level that's going to earn you more money, save you more money, so limiting your expenses or limiting your taxes, how to build leverage into your life, which is how to make money off other people. And there's nothing wrong with making money off other people if you provide them value. The thing is we've grown up, watching our dads and our grandpas and our aunts and uncles and all this sort of stuff go to a job where you're there for one reason. You're there to do a specific job. If you do the job, you get to come back and do it again tomorrow. Essentially, you're a cog in the wheel. You're a part of a piece of machinery. And in entrepreneurship, you become the person that builds the machinery. So we got to go from a singular focus, which is I do my job and I get paid, into how can I become a better person and provide value to a community in order to earn income off of them some way, shape, or form, whether it's a brick and mortar business, a service, consulting, coaching, commissions, whatever it is, or if you're in my industry, we're direct sales and social media marketing. So the first thing is you got to change your value system. And to change your value system, you're also going to be changing your self-image. So you can't drag around your high school version of yourself, the person that, got beat up and put into lockers and, was called skinny or fat or dumb or whatever the thing, you can't bring that mentality into entrepreneurship and expect to be successful. It just doesn't work that way. Your identity, who you believe you are, is way more important than who you actually are today. Okay, and this is, the Sylvester Stallone story of, having to go to 1,000 or 10,000 different directors looking to sell his script for Rocky, and then ended up selling his dog in order to get to put food on the table, and ended up buying the dog, years later, and that's the whole thing. But the point is he knew deep down inside that he was worth it. That it wasn't, some external thing or, someone having to tell him or whatever. He knew deep down inside, like, this is who I am. And if I don't go produce at that level, or if I don't go accomplish these things, then there's going to be the incongruency. And the thing that you're most scared of is not the financial, ruin. It's, not the being called stupid or ugly or whatever. It's getting to the end of your life and going, fuck, man, I could have done that. Like I could have been successful. I could have had everything I wanted, right? So if you change your self-identity and you change your value system, that's basically ground zero. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is you got to learn how to discipline yourself and how to handle frustration. So in entrepreneurship, this literally like walking through a tornado. You don't know what's coming. You don't know what's going to happen in a month or 6 months or a year or even tomorrow. So you got to be prepared and willing to handle frustration. The people that fly off the handle when things don't go their way or get super upset and throw things around, you'll never be successful. Just plain and simple. You'll never actually get to that point where you're able to inspire anybody, because as soon as something comes up that you get frustrated in, you throw your hands up and you walk away. So being able to handle that frustration and put yourself different perspective where you could reframe a situation. So if something isn't going right, then it's a learning experience. Or if someone doesn't show up, it's their loss and you now have more time to do something different. So it's just changing the way you look at a certain situation in order to create that positive feedback loop. You have to be your biggest fan. You got to be your own coach. So giving yourself a pat on the back. And, I had some things in my life that went a little sideways today, and I was at the gym and I'm like, you know what? Sitting in my vehicle, I'm like, all right, let's look at the bright side. Let's look at what's going on that's positive right now. What can we build on today to get a little momentum? Because the thing is time heals all wounds. So no matter what happens, lead doesn't show up, someone no shows or doesn't pull through or whatever the case is, give it a little bit of time. Everything's going to be all good. But don't wallow in self-pity. Get up and do something productive that's going to move you forward. And I call this counterpunching. Okay. So the last thing that I want to mention, and probably the most important thing, is being coachable. Okay, so you got to be willing to take advice from other people. And in sort of what we do is, we're social media marketing, so we're finding people all around the world. And most likely, if you're watching this right now, you probably have never met me in person, right? I'm just some dude online that's, trying to show you how to change your life, and maybe you believe it or maybe you don't, or whatever the case is. But if you're super skeptical all the time and your skepticism keeps you from taking action outside of your comfort zone, knowing that the reason why you don't have what you want right now is because you're in your comfort zone, then you're literally just chaining yourself up. And you're never going to be able to move forward or expand because you're stuck in this. Literally when I was 22 years old, I had that mentality of, if I don't understand it, it doesn't make sense and it's not true. How stupid can you be as a person if you're young, 20, 25, 30, 35, even 40, expecting to, have all of life figured out, especially in the day and ages that we live in. You go back 20 years, life was different. You go back 30 years, it's super different. And in 10 years from now, it's going to be way different. So you got to be on that cutting edge of learning the new skills and opening yourself up. And I'm not an early adopter. I've always been the sort of guy that, I like to wait and see how things go and make sure make sure the bridge is safe before you cross type thing. And then, 7 years after watching my friends kill it in the business I'm in, I was like, dude, what the fuck is going on? I've been on the sidelines watching these guys kill it. At some point in time, you're going to have to jump in and you're going to have to ride that wave of momentum. It's move fast and break things, right? Just try a million different things and see which one works. And you're going to not only, eventually become successful, but you're going to learn a lot along the way. And if you just stay in your comfort zone and you think everyone's out to get you and everything's a scam and everything's too good to be true, and it generally comes down to your lack of knowledge around something that you've probably never researched before, then you got to ask yourself, are you actually serious about becoming a business owner? And are you actually willing to do what needs to be done to move you from employee into business owner, or from 9 to 5 worker into fly around the world, do whatever you want on your own time? The people that have that are the ones that were willing to take the risk, and the risk is on you, not anybody else, right? I took the risk 2015. I was the one that had to jump in and go, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But where I am right now is not where I want to be, and it's not who I want to be. So I only had one choice: move forward. And it was either the path that everyone else was taking, or the path to challenge myself to level up and become the best version of myself. Now, obviously, what path I took, especially if you're listening to this right now. So, just a little bit of love. Get super aggressive. Okay, get super aggressive on your goals. Let your job. That's the passive. Okay, that's super passive. You go to your job. It pays your bills. That's all good. But you got to get ridiculously aggressive to your goals. There's got to be either a risk or reward, and you're either motivated by the carrot or you're motivated by the stick, which means you're either the person that wants a lot of money because you want to buy the Ferrari and be, seen around as the man or whatever, or you're working super, super hard because you don't want to be poor and you don't want to struggle and you don't want to tell your kids you can't put the presents under the tree because there's no money left. right? So you got to get really, really, really aggressive and go towards your goals like you're fighting for something. Because essentially that's what we're doing is we're on a one-way track, and it's from life to death. And if you look at life any other way, then you're kidding yourself, because you're not going to be around forever. So like, how many more of the best prime years of your life are you going to piss away at some other job, making some other guy a boatload of money, while you sit and daydream and run all of these scenarios through your head on why you can't do it? You gotta just get aggressive. You gotta be the person that if someone stole your baby, right, you run after them like your hair's on fire. Or if someone broke into your house, or whatever analogy you want, if there's something super valuable and someone took it, you would run after that person until your feet bleed. Well, if you want to be super successful online and you don't really know what to do and you don't have a lot of experience, then you gotta get super, super, super aggressive. And I'm telling you, 1 year, 12 months of one singular focus with one coach, with one business, and you put all your eggs into that basket, realistically, 5 to 10 grand is all that a lot of people are looking to quit their job. It's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money when you get paid hourly, but when you're in business, there's people that are making $10,000 a minute. Why can't you make $10,000 a month? Why can't you make $10,000 a week? Why can't you make $10,000 a day? It's your mindset and your willingness to get aggressive and run towards your goals so fast that you don't even see the failures, right? Because when you're going super slow and you're super tedious and you don't want to make any mistakes, one screw up destroys all of your momentum. But if you're running top speed and a couple things go wrong, you're already so far ahead that those things don't matter anymore. So when you get hyper aggressive in your business, things become way easier. Momentum starts to build. All of the little things, all the small problems, which are just small problems, are insignificant anymore. They're like bugs on your windshield. You're just cruising down the highway. And again, if you break things, move fast, get super aggressive, work with a high-level coach, working with the company that you're truly aligned with, that you have goals, you have a vision, you're coachable, you're willing to learn, you're willing to sacrifice the time, you're willing to change your value system, all that sort of stuff, 2023 will be the year that you'll absolutely change it. And I'm telling you, once you leave your job, you'll never go back. So thank you so much for listening. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, or if you are watching the replay. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you on the next one.